Okay guys, I'm not going to run through the entire lab for you in this video, but I did want to give you some pointers about how to set up your materials. So when you walk in for your lab tomorrow, you're going to have a setup very similar to this. You will have some color of metal stand. They're going to all be different colors. At the top, you have this wooden block, and there's actually a protractor built in right here. You're going to be using the protractor to find the amplitude, the starting amplitude of your pendulum. And then you're going to have a pendulum that will be pre-strung at your starting length. So right now we have the small pendulum bob, and it is strung at 40 centimeters. So the first thing I'm going to do is to show you how to change out your pendulum. So up here you find the black knob that it's attached to. Hold on to the bob because you're going to unscrew this black knob, and when you do that, it's going to release the string. Okay? After you unscrew this black knob right here, if you look up at the metal bar, there's a hole in the bar. So you'll just take the end of your string and poke it through that hole, pull it on the other side. Now you're going to have a specific length that you need to set your bob at. So you'll also have a meter stick, and I'm going to just set it right up next to this metal or wooden block, and make sure it's straight. And I've got my 0 up at the top, and then my 100 or the end of my meter stick down here at the bottom. And in this case, my metal bar that's holding the pendulum on hits right at about 3 centimeters. So what you're going to do is whatever length you need your pendulum string to be, add 3 centimeters to that. Or yours might not be 3 centimeters, double check, but they should be pretty much the same. So I want to start off with a 40 centimeter string. So I want the end of my string to hit at 43 centimeters, remember, because I've got 3 up at the top here. And when I say the end of my string, what I mean is where it attaches to the pendulum itself. So don't include the size of the pendulum in the length of your string. I'm going to just pull it down, and that's actually a little bit too far. So I'm going to pull it back up. And you can work in partners for this too. One person hold, one person measure. Okay, so that is right about 40 centimeters, about as close as I can get it. Then I'm going to just screw this black knob until it's sufficiently tight. I can get rid of that extra string. And now I have my pendulum hanging at 40 centimeters. You will also have to use during the first trial a medium-sized pendulum, which you're going to use for most of the lab, and this very large size pendulum. Okay, and you'll be trading those out with the different size pendulum bobs for the first part of the lab. The second part of the lab, you're going to change your amplitude, so how far do you move your pendulum. And then for the third part of the lab, you'll be changing the length of the string. Okay, remember, when your pendulum is hanging still, when it's not moving, that's your equilibrium point. So when you move it, if I want to start at, say, 20 degrees amplitude, okay, one swing is going to go past my equilibrium point and all the way back to where I started with. That's one swing or one cycle. So one of the things that you'll be doing is counting 10 swings or 10 cycles. You'll be timing it as you do 10 cycles. So if I release my pendulum, and I want to do it as straight as I possibly can so that my pendulum is not wiggling back and forth. When I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's where I would stop my timer. Notice that I didn't actually start counting until it made one complete swing. So back and 1, out and 2, out and 3, and so on. watch the next video, I'm going to help you a little bit with the setup for part 2 of your lab.